Coach, looking at the stat sheet, you guys shot 41% or 47% from the field. You scored 67 points. What was the difference tonight?
Well, and another stat on top of that is 18 assists and 6 turnovers.
Right.
If you told me that our goal tonight was to, with their pressure, we said we got to be able to keep turnovers down to minimum under 10 to limit their transition off turnovers. We did that. We said that we got to produce 60 or more points, and we did that. We said we want to see our shooting percentage increase each game. We did that. We wanted to get to the free throw line a little bit more than our opponent. We did that. So you start narrow it down. You finally get down to the minutia. The simplest part of the game, or the simplest part for a fan to say, is they made more shots. And we kind of went through the talk to the team and said, the other night we took the number 1 team in the nation, 3-point shooting team, Northern Colorado, and we held them 3 for 18. Tonight, we're in a team that is really unpredictable on how many shots they're going to take from the 3, who's going to take them, when they're going to take them, early in the clock, medium in the clock, late in the clock. We've watched 3 different games, and they've kind of played at different tempos, and different guys have stepped up, and different guys have not. And hat goes off to them, because I just thought that they hit some deep shots. I thought there's some late shots, some rhythm shots, some not rhythm shots, and they hit 9 of 18 of those from the 3-point line. So if you look at it and you say, well, we go, we make 2 more and we shoot, 1 or 2 more there, and we make 1 or 2 free throws there. You go through the stats and you watch the game, and somebody said their runs, every time we made a run, they ended with a shot. They got that shot. They hit that basket. So, it's really was sincere to our team, saying, not too many times do I just say it's pretty simple. It's the old NBA line. We had looks, just a few, but not a horrible night. They had looks and made those, but also made the ones that weren't, that increased difficulty factor shots. I thought there were 3 or 4 difficulty shots that were 5 to 6 feet beyond the line. Kind of, okay, here we got it. We got to shoot it up there, and we kind of had that as part of our scouting report. It's like, predict the unpredictable with this team, because they're a team that has different guys that will have different gears and different nights. So a good streaky team like that, and they shot the ball, and you take your hats off.
Cal Poly is usually not a team that gets out-rebounded by a lot if they get out-rebounded. Out-rebounded by 9 to 9, 31 to 22. Did you feel like that was a...
I didn't, and I explained why. When I first started coaching, I looked at that stats once, and the coach told me, he says, well, why I got out-rebounded? Because we missed more shots and there was more rebounds for them to get. And there are not as many rebounds for us. When look at the number of total shots, there was only 21 total missed shots they had. And we got 17 rebounds. So you look at that, you go, okay, there was only 5 opportunities in which we didn't get the rebound. And so the reason they have more rebounds than us in that one is you look at the number of missed shot opportunities we had. We had 27 missed shots. There's math. You miss a shot, there's more rebound opportunities, because you look at the ones that are fair in the game, where it's like if you miss a shot, you have more offensive rebounding opportunities. That's where I thought we could have capitalized, because we did have that many shots. If we could have had a couple more, and you could really see that the length of adding upshot guy, a kid who just got the 10 extra minutes for them, and adding that 7-foot body in there, just the one more rebounder, one more long body in there to kind of block off. But I thought the key for the night for them was the ability to shoot the ball, and you look at the 3-point shooting percentage, and then their inside game was awfully solid. Obviously the Foster kid going for 28-9, and when we doubled down, they kicked out and they made that shot. So it really felt like an NBA game tonight. It really felt like guys made plays. Certain guys made plays as shots at times.
Can you talk about, last question, can you talk about the decision to go to the 1-3-1 and kind of what that was like for you guys?
Well, we had only worked on it 1 or 2 nights, and we kind of felt like we had to have something in our left pocket to start pulling out as the season goes on. It's something that we said, well, you never know. A team hits 3 or 4 shots in a row, and they're driving on us and kicking. We got to change the tempo, and it really did. It kind of stopped the bleeding, as we call it. And changed the momentum of the game there. I think we were down 11 or 12 in the first half, or 10 or 11, and then we went to the 1-3-1. They had some difficulties. It slowed down their aggressiveness. They ended up hitting 1-3 out of it, but I think overall we changed the tempo of the game and were able to get it back to I think 7 at half, and then we said, well, let's see how long we can maybe we can bring it down and tie it up or go ahead with it. And that was the same kind of thing. It's like, and it's a very fatiguing defense to play. I mean, you to chase the guys that far away. It's not a long-term defense. It's kind of a stopgap, change of pace. So we went back to man-to-man, and we went back to some 22-23 stuff that just kind of we kept trying everything. We tried combinations. We tried defensive changes, and their answer was a bucket. From many of the times it was either a breakdown or a long-range 25-footer, and that was pretty it.
What is the one thing? What's the big thing that you're going to take away from this game and going into UCLA?
Well, we got better, and it's hard if I was in my 5th or 10th or 15th year of coaching, it's kind of hard to be very positive about a loss. Mm-hmm. But I appreciate the question of what are we taking away. I think we're taking away that we can score 60 or more points against an athletic team, really long with 7-footers and really long 6'8" kid there, and wings that are 6'3" and 6'4". I mean, we're going to see 2 or 3 of the best athletes in the nation at UCLA. Shabazz being eligible now to play, and the Anderson kid, and the Adams kid, and the Ware twins, and Josh Smith, another McDonald's All-American. You're looking at anywhere from 4 to 6 NBA players out there on their team, and for us, if we run things and keep the ball moving and keep things to generate 67 points was pretty encouraging, and especially against TCU when we went against that size, that many athletes at TCU, we weren't able to generate the points. If we had that kind of offensive flow against TCU the first game of the year, we probably would have come out of TCU with a victory. So I think it's actually really, really encouraging that what we did do, a little bit more movement, a little bit more rhythm out of things. It's just hard to sit there too jolly about, but the big picture is, we're scheduling tough, and we're not backing down from that. I know last time we played a top 25 team. I don't know if they won tonight or whatever.
They lost.
They lost. Okay, so what their national ranking is after one more game is Georgetown tonight, and they play another game tomorrow night. But that's the exciting part of it. These guys sign up for going to Cal Poly. You say, if our engineering school is going to be nationally ranked, they got to go compete against top engineering program, schools. And basketball, if we're going to continue to improve, we're going to go try to find we're playing 3 conference champions this year, and the number 1 recruiting class in America, and that's UCLA. And then we go to St. Mary's, who won the West Coast Conference Championship. Then we're going to go to Nevada and play the WAC defending champions, and we're going to the University of Washington and play the Pac-12 defending champion. If that doesn't prepare us to learn to play better, then nothing will. We're not obsessed with the wins and losses. We're obsessed with the improvement part. And tonight was very encouraging, just from that improvement side offensively. And then, they make shots like that, we'll live with it.
Is that what you told your team after?
That's almost word for word what we talked about. Was it was really a 2-minute conversation of the reality of what we're doing in our program and why we're scheduling what we do. And it's like, hey, turn right around here. Everybody's going to go home for their Thanksgiving dinner. We're going to go to practice. We're going to be in the gym on Thursday morning at 10:30. You guys want to come out? That's kind of dedication. That's how you get better. Those guys will be spending that time, in the gym for 2 to 3 hours, an hour of scouting report and film, and 2 hours of practice and ice and so forth. And so they'll be putting 3 to 3 hours in there, 4 hours in there on Thanksgiving Day. And that should make people proud.
Coach, one last question. I'll ask the same one I asked Drake. Chris leads the team in rebounding, and once again, what can you say about him coming up and being a leader this year?
Well, I like a couple of things he did that certainly shows development. But he had 4 assists. I thought he had 2 or 3 passes out of the post. One to a couple to Brian Bennett at the high post, passing out of that, because as I mentioned last week, that as Chris continues to be a scoring threat / leading scorer, he's going to get more attention, and then he's going to have to learn how to play out of the post or out of the perimeter when he's driving and kick, when it's inside out post. And so at half he had 2 turnovers, and again he had 33 minutes, and that's critical. We're getting that many good minutes out of him. He's in great shape. He takes care of himself. So we're gonna need those kind of minutes from him throughout the Big West.
Are you confident that he'll kind of develop into that player where he's learning those things this year?
Well, he's done it for 2 years. I'm not seeing that train slow down at all. If you look back to where he was as a redshirt, look back where he was his first year, look back where he was at the end of last season when he started posting double-doubles. You look at where he's been this year, where his progression and his consistency has been really good, and his numbers all over the board. You know, I think that's the best part. The best part about our team is that I think that we still have tremendous development there. And Kyle Oddister, kid that hasn't played that much because of injuries, is getting back. Reese Morgan, guy who hasn't played a full year, getting back. You know, it's Chris O'Brien, another guy who missed an entire year last year. You know, that's a lot of rust. You got 3 or 4 guys out here with Brian Bennett with his first college game, second college game at home. Zach Gordon, second college game ever. You know, so I think that we look at those kind of guys and we go, all right, we're a fairly young and experienced team in that time, and we're playing against really, really talented teams. So it's great for us to get that experience and learn from it, but also continue to compete. That hey, we're trying to win. You know, and we know that we have the capacity to do that, but we're going to have to pull out those wins at UCLA or a win at St. Mary's. We're going to have the kind of night Fresno State had. We're going to have to hit 10 of 18 three-pointers. You know, shoot 55, 60% from the three-point line, and probably take 25 of them. You know, I mean, you're not going to get a lot inside. As you saw tonight, they had 7 block shots. You got a chance for a quick move to the backboard. You can do it, but you're not probably going to get away with too many reverse layups. You know, or post moves with 2 and 3 counter moves because the weak side guy is going to come there. So it's got to be a pretty quick rhythm if you're going to even get shots, and that helps you prepare. You know, our teams in our conference are awfully athletic, and Northridge is playing really well. Irvine is playing really well. Santa Barbara has always been very, very competitive and at top of the conference. And Long Beach State, defending champions, have really good transfer athletes. So, you know, we're seeing the emergence of the Big West. Really is becoming a super athletic, and you add Hawaii and Long Beach State and Boise State to it, becoming a longer, more athletic league, and that bodes well because it puts us in a position that we'll continue to improve, and players that we recruit want to be there. You're looking at Brian Bennett, a big 6'9", 240-pound freshman. You look at Zach Gordon, 6'8", 220. You can get up there and block shots and rebound with that. They just need more experience. You know, as you get more experience, you're going to see more production. It's like you're watching Chris Eversley's development in front of our eyes.
Anything else, guys?
Real quick, you said Thursday you guys are having practice. Are you guys also getting together for a meal on Thursday?
We have about 6 or 7 guys coming to my house, and a couple going over to girlfriends' houses or friends in town or parents. Dylan's parents are hosting 3 or 4 guys. Zach Allman's family's here, so he's hosting a couple of the freshmen over there. So we kind of scatter and get a good Thanksgiving dinner and all that kind of stuff and go on from there. So we leave the next morning. We're going to go down there a day early and practice in L.A. and then Saturday practice in Pauley Pavilion. You know, do some kind of holiday gathering as a team, go to Universal Studios or something like that in L.A. And, you know, these guys are all away from family and dedicating their whole, you know, Thanksgiving break to, you know, playing basketball. And we'll got to have a little bit of a exhale. And so it'll be a good break and not a break, but a Thanksgiving break. So. All right, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
See you in LA.